Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, Robert Lunt here, Realty ONE Group MVP, and today I'm bringing you a brand new series called Success Stories. I was going to call it War Stories, but I think maybe Success Stories would be fitting. These were some complicated transactions that got to the finish line. So I thought it'd be interesting to hear, the way that I work and the way things pan out in certain situations, and why it's really helpful to have a realtor. Because you might say, oh, I don't need a realtor. I just go into the builders and buy the house direct. I don't want to deal with a realtor. I don't want to have them pressure me. I don't want to have, I want to pay their commission, blah, blah, blah. So one, guys, just so you know, the builders always pay my commission. You never pay it. So it's always the responsibility of the builder, the seller. They always pay the commission. I actually had that question today from a client who called in, who was selling their house in another state. And so I just want to be very clear with that. It costs you nothing. The builders charge you no extra. They don't give extra discounts because they have to max out their discounts, and they can only reduce the price so much because it'll hurt the appraisals on the next sale. So they can only go to these certain levels, or else they got to sell all the houses for that price. That's how that works, guys. They don't give you free upgrades, nothing like that. If the incentive is $25,000, $35,000, that's what the incentive is. And they can only give you 6%, especially when you're financing. They can do a forward commitment on the rate, but they can only give you 6% in closing costs. That's the law, the rule for all loans. So anyway, guys, in this series, we're going to talk about some success stories. I just want to do a little housekeeping. Make sure you're checking out my channel, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure you're checking out all my educational content that I put on my channel, as well as all the tours I do. There's so many model tours, tours of the town, the city. I put little shorts of different things that I do, inspections, orientations, cool things that I see, new happenings in the Parish, Florida area, guys. I'm a Parish, Florida new construction specialist, guys. Been doing this YouTube channel for 2.5 years now, and I've done probably 25, like another 35, maybe like another 20. I don't know, almost 90 transactions, I would say, just from this YouTube channel. So it's definitely the biggest YouTube channel in Parish, Florida, when it comes to new construction. So there's other channels that cover Parish that are bigger than mine, but they don't niche in just Parish. They're all over the place. They're all over Tampa Bay. They're all over Lakewood Ranch. They're scattered. They don't really always know what they're talking about, especially when they come to Parish. They miscue a lot of information. I watch them too. So just keep up with what they're doing, guys. So just keep that in mind. So success story number one. And this one just closed this week. This was, I would say, a 15-month transaction. Okay. This was a subscriber who called me off my YouTube channel because he knew that I buy houses as well. I also buy distressed properties. Or if it's just a deal that I can cash flow from, I'll consider buying it from you as well, rather than you trying to sell it on the market. That's not my claim to fame or anything like that, guys, but that's something that I do. I used to be a professional. I am a professional house flipper. I used to do 5 houses at a time. That's why I got into real estate. That's actually why I got licensed as a real estate agent, was to be more reputable and be more trustworthy to hard money lenders. So I had, when I was brand new, and I was like, they were like, why should we give this guy money to flip a house or to buy a rental property? So That's why I got licensed, guys, and to save money on buying and selling. So that was the main thing. But then I was like, hey, well, I started door knocking. I joined Keller Williams, started door knocking, started getting listings, and then I was getting buyers, and then started doing some Zillow leads, Facebook ads, all that stuff, guys. And I became, a pretty successful real estate agent, posted on Facebook all the time. My sphere of influence was very good. I got a lot of traffic from that. My real estate investor association, I got some deals from that. But then, I lived in this new construction area. It was like where I live now is in Parrish, Florida, the new construction mecca, I would say, of almost the whole world. I mean, there's a lot of areas where it's blowing up with new construction, but not like Parrish, guys. I mean, it's literally, there's about, I'm going to count them right now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, like 22 new construction communities building right now within about a 5-mile radius of here, guys. So 22. Some communities are 4,000 homes. Some communities are 250 homes. Some communities are 80 homes. But within a 10-mile radius, there's about 30 new construction communities. There's roads coming in all over the place. So that's what I do, guys. That's what I do. So about 15 months ago, I got a call from one of my subscribers, and they said, we have this probate situation. We have a house we need to sell, and would you be interested in buying it? At the time, the numbers weren't lining up. I looked at it. I was like, this is what I can offer you as a cash offer. This is what I can list it for, because I'll also do a listing service, a discounted listing service for my clients as well. So I listed it, got a buyer like pretty quickly. Like, we listed it for $299. I thought it was in distressed condition a little bit. Definitely needed some work. Come to find out, it needed a lot of work as we get further into the story. So found a buyer for like $265. After inspections, we negotiated through all the repairs needed, and they were at like $265. We were like, sweet, that was pretty good, right? Based off of the payoffs, based off of the work that it needed, based off of the locations on a main road. So a little bit of like functional obsolescence, just being on that main road, hard to pull in, pull out type thing, had a septic tank. So it was under contract, but it was still going through probate. And then there was some issues with probate, some contesting of a will, things like that with siblings. And then what basically happened is the buyers didn't want to wait anymore because it had to go and get this clearance through the court, through the judge, to clear the title for closing. And it could take a couple more months, and the investor didn't want to wait because he had other deals in his sights, so he ended up backing out. So tried it again. I think we got somebody else that was, but it wasn't even worth it because we knew we still had to go. So I had to disclose, hey, we got to go through this probate situation. So long story short, the sellers, my buyers, actually, who just closed on their new construction house a few days ago, after all this, went, said, let's just get, let's put it through the court. Let's get the clearance. Let's get the, the clear title on it first. Let's get all the clearances from the judge. Everything is good to go from the title company, from the attorney. So everybody knows they can close with the clear title, and make sure we have all the lien payoffs and we know what we're dealing with. So they ended up, their lease expired where they were living. So they ended up moving into this place for a couple of months, a few months, something like that. So place was pretty gnarly. I would say the AC system, the air quality wasn't really good. The septic tank was always backing up. I think it was the drain field was good, but the septic tank was failing. The drain pipes under the house were kind of broken and bellowing in some areas, so like toilets weren't flushing, and water, like the shower was disconnected from from the bottom. Like there was like you could run the shower all day and it wasn't coming out to clean out. It was just going somewhere. We don't know where the water was going, in the ground, I guess. Um, so anyway, guys, so they end up living in there. Then they were like, this is not good living conditions. They end up getting a rental, near where the house that they wanted to buy, the houses that they were looking at here in Parrish, Florida. And so, and one thing I do, I never name names. I'm never going to name communities. I'm never going to name anything, full privacy protection for my clients, guys. I'm not going to even really name cities as much, I'll just say general city, but I'm not even going to say where in the city these people are located. So, just for protection, as I respect my clients' privacy, I have fiduciary duties. I'm under a code of ethics, and that's just not right. So, um, so like a few months later, they were like, "All right, well, we moved out of the house, find another buyer, but let's do it for 220 this time." So they went from 299 to 220. Now I found somebody for like 215. Like I have a Rolodex because I have all these like buyers. They hit me up every single day. I get like 3, 4, 5 of them. Like, do you have any investment deals? Do you have any investment deals? Do you have any investment deals? Blah blah blah. Because I was like all over Facebook as I buy houses, this and that for years and years, and all the groups. So all these wholesalers, I'm on all these buyers lists for all these wholesalers that get sold around all over to these guru classes and everything like that. I'm on these lists, like as a buy on the buyers list, right? So all these companies call me and text me all the time. So then I just start shooting it out there. I'm like, boom, 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 boom on these distressed properties. And then I get like 3 offers, I think it was. 3 more offers. I had multiple people trying to buy it at the same time. And then so I ended up getting under contract for 215. And this was like 5 months ago. 5 months ago. And so I was like, all right, we got it for 215. They went and did their inspections, their due diligence, got their contractors out there, come back, try to renegotiate, saying 175. So my buyer keeps, my seller, he keeps trickling down, and then finally he's at like, we're at like 180 bottom line, and then they're at 175 tops. So $5,000 difference, guys. And mind you, I'm doing this for a discounted listing commission. I think I'm getting like $5,000. I got like probably 40 hours invested into this deal already. It's freaking nuts. And so I even went and helped clean the house out to get it ready for the first listing photos. Like I spent like 1 or 2 days over there just like taking trash and moving things around and kind of placing things and making it look good for pictures and stuff like that and helping clean. That's kind of realtor I am, guys. I go above and beyond. I do whatever it takes, and I'm helpful to my clients. So I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. So I couldn't make the deal together, and then finally I'm like 180. I was like, I think I'll buy it for 180. So call up my money guys, get the money, and I bought it for 180. So it took me about 3 months to flip this house, but because I got them the 180, they were able to pay off all their debts and fix their credit, and so they could qualify for the new construction loan. That was the main component to getting rid of this house. So it was a win-win situation where it was like I got a flip so I could make a profit, plus I was getting a sale from them. They were getting their house, and you know, someone else is now getting almost brand new house that I flipped, you know, I did a really good job. I put like $65,000 into this house. It was, you know, it was bad. Like when I got in, I was like, you know, at first I was like, it's not that bad. I was like, I can salvage the AC. I can probably, you know, knock on wood, you know, sewer lines are fine, and let's get it scoped and cameraed, and all I gotta do is the septic, cosmetics. I was like, the AC's working great, you know, blah blah blah. The windows are good. I was like, just, you know, open up a wall, move a door, flooring, paint, all new fixtures, you know, fix up the kitchen, stuff like that. So, and I was thinking maybe I'll keep it as a rental for that, you know, and it was Airbnb-able, no HOA, no CDD. So I ran the numbers on that. If I put a small pool in, I probably could have got like 400 a night for the place. It was like 5 minutes from Siesta Key. So, but, you know, after I got into it, guys, I was like, all right, well, I might as well do this. Yeah, I got to do that. And like, you know, the smell's not going away. All new ductwork, all new ACs, mold in there. You know, I had to replace half the sewer lines. Um, you know, gutted the bathrooms. You know, new tubs, new showers. Um, you know, replaced the countertops, added some cabinets. Like I said, moved some walls, retextured a lot of the rooms, got rid of some wood paneling, took a wall unit AC out. You know, had to redo the whole lanai. Landscaping galore, like days and days worth of brush cleaning and cutting limbs and moving rocks and pavers and bricks and just like tons, like loads and loads and loads. I must have brought, you know, 15 truckloads of crap and dumped it. That was just, it was crazy. Like it was like hard work, guys, hard work. Um, and $65,000 later, 3 months later, you know, got it for 180. I'm on the market, 330, sold it in one day. So it turned into a win, guys. Win-win situation. I gave the buyers even a 4% seller credit. So for their closing costs, it was a FHA, first-time buyer. So I was able to help them as well. So I was able to help two people get into new houses, first-time buyers. So that was a huge success story, guys. Now my my sellers, they closed the other day. They're in a brand new big house on a nice cul-de-sac. You know, new, brand new everything, guys. And I'm giving them a $2,000 rebate. That's part of the deal. So they got $2,000 coming to them. Got their house sold. Got a brand new house. Win, 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 guys. Success story number one. Stay tuned for volume 2, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. And, you know, give me a call, guys. If you need my services, I am a professional real estate agent that knows how to think outside of the box. I have creative strategies. I work hard. I've got a lot of experience, especially with negotiating with these builders. You know, I've got an eye for construction flaws. I know the right procedures and how to read contracts and make sure all the, you know, I's are dotted and T's are crossed, guys. So yeah, Robert Lunt, Realty ONE Group MVP, new construction specialist here in the Parish, Florida, Lakewood Ranch, Manatee County, South Hillsborough, guys. That's my radius, 941-879-4730 and robertlunt.com. Have a great day.